Okay, Daya and I got connected on LinkedIn. You got to check her out. She came on to Giant TV, which is my media channel to help others with high value content. And I always love hearing about what other people are doing who are very successful. Daya has been an entrepreneur for 20 plus years, grew up in the family business, and she's been crushing it with her own business for many years, helping other businesses to grow and expand with a niche on law firms. Had a fascinating conversation with Daya, and you're going to love it. Highly recommend you get connected to this woman. She has great content she's putting out there, and I just took away some really killer nuggets from our conversation. So let's go check it out. Hi, everybody. This is Paul Hitchcock. I'm the founder and president of Giant Jacks Media, where we help others to grow and nurture their businesses. This is Giant TV, and love this channel because it's a way for me to bring value to my network with people that are doing great things. And Daya is certainly one of them. Welcome, Daya.
Hey, Paul, great to be here.
Yeah, and I just wanted to get right into this because you and I were talking offline. You've got so much going on, really, really cool stuff. You are the CEO and founder of the Success Partner. And so I want to understand, me and everybody, what exactly is that and what are you focused on?
Oh, absolutely. So we are a blend of coaching and consulting, a little bit of training depending upon what you need. And we work primarily with lawyers and law firms. We do work all over the US and in Canada, both virtually and on site with people as needed. And I kind of have a sub brand called the Co-Pilot. And
Yeah.
that comes from the entrepreneurial saying that you're building the plane while you're flying the plane. Because really these small law firms that I'm working with, they're entrepreneurial shops, without necessarily wanting to be entrepreneurs. Like
Yeah.
lawyers want to practice law, I don't want to run a
Right.
business.
Right.
Yeah. So how do we go in there and make that happen?
And well, I just want to say I don't want to be on that plane flying on it if it's still being built. Let's just say that. But and are you working with all sizes of law firms, or is it more the kind of middle market below? What's the focus area there?
Yeah, but great question. It's more of a boutique style firm right now, and so not necessarily a size, but if you wanted to do a sort of a general category, I'm looking for a firm that is going to specialize in a particular area, say tax or family or estates, and then also be under about five lead attorneys, and then I sort of have a revenue batch, so getting to that first million for the small firm, and then growing and setting goals for up to about 5 million. And at that point, I need to start making myself replaceable.
Oh
So,
yeah,
so I'm,
yeah.
I'm helping them build the plane. They've got it kind of going now. And so I need to start helping them put um, the right people in the right spots so that they can go on and up to the next level.
Skyrocket. Yeah. So if a law firm's not doing a million or not
Uh-huh.
doing 5 million, what are the problems there? Is it a sales and marketing thing? Is it they don't have enough people? Because I mean, when you mention that, I'm like, okay, well, they need more leads, they get more business. So is it all sales and marketing, or what would be the issue?
Yeah, honestly, Paul, there's a lot of issues. There's like seven or so areas, six or seven areas that I'm actually looking at from a high level perspective, and they all have to work together. So it's an assembly line, or it's a tree. Like if they
Hmm.
get more leads, then they've got to get more salespeople, and if they have more salespeople, then they got to make more payroll. They have to get more client satisfaction. Then there has to be the processes in the firm. Then there has to be the technology in the firm,
Yeah.
and then you have to think about culture and well-being and burnout. So everything scopes in together. And when I have a conversation with a firm owner, usually the thing that they think is the biggest problem is not the biggest problem, or
Oh.
the thing that they think is the biggest success is not the biggest success. And
Hmm.
we just really have to peel it out, get it all out, kind of like when you're moving. And so like, okay, I'm gonna like throw everything out on the floor, and then I'm gonna start sorting stuff into boxes. And then from there, then we're like, this goes first, this goes second. And then there's stuff that comes up.
Hmm.
So we're working on the thing that goes second or the thing that goes third, and then all of a sudden something has cropped up. That's an opportunity or a challenge, and then we get to work on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a NASA schematic to me, the way you're talking there, you know. Well, do you find that at that size of a law firm, 4 or 5 people, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but they typically don't have salespeople there. The attorneys are trying to be attorneys while also building a book of business. So is it bringing in salespeople, which is unusual for that size of a firm? Is that a fair statement or what?
We do look at the unusual. We look at
Yeah.
what what's worked traditionally doesn't always necessarily work anymore, especially
Yeah.
given the way that people market now and the way leads come in now, and certain types of practices work differently.
Hmm.
So in like say a trust and estates, for example, it's that person to person relationship. So the head of the firm is going to be the one that's going to be the direct contact. Whereas you could flip that if you're, say, a personal injury firm or tickets or criminal, someone else is going to be as like a salesperson or intake
Yeah.
person. You're going to meet those people first, and it's not going to be the attorney's job until it gets up to the actual functioning of the practice.
Okay. Do you get into things like lead campaigns, SEO on websites, LinkedIn outreach? I mean, are you getting granular into those things?
Around a little bit with it. I'm more of the high level, and then
Okay.
we
Okay.
make sure that they're communicating properly with the marketing people. I wouldn't say they'd have a CMO at that point,
Yeah.
or even a fractional CMO, but they do have people
Hmm.
or an agency that they're working with, and we I make sure that they're asking the right questions and giving the right answers so that that moves smoothly.
I got it. And then the when you're working with somebody, how long of an engagement is that? You're going in there and is it months? Is it years? Or what does that look like?
Well, I'll give you the classic lawyer answer. It depends.
Oh my gosh, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, we really co-design everything together. And so it's going to be those first couple of conversations that we have that I can lay out like, hey, this is going to be 6 months, or this is going to be a year, or this is something we can get in. Like say they just wanted to do some culture work. It's like,
Hmm.
okay, we're going to go in and we're going to talk to everybody 3 to 4 months, or we're going to design a firm retreat, a strategic planning retreat, or something like that. Maybe we could turn that around in 6 to 8 weeks. So it just really depends on where they're at and what they.
Okay. And you're on site and virtual, both?
I do. It depends. It really depends on what they need. Probably 70 to 80% of the work can be done virtually.
Yeah.
All of it can be done virtually. However, if they did want to do an on-site, or if they did want to do a half day or something like that, I prefer that to be in person if we can.
Hmm. For you, what does your week look like? I mean, are you on Zooms all day, calls, going places? What sort of challenges do you confront in building your own business out?
Oh, absolutely. So I'm a lifelong entrepreneur. So I'm 21 years in business, different businesses. And it's still always something a little bit different day to day
Yeah.
than you expect. You plan out your ideal plan and you work with that plan. Some people say, hey, I can't plan because I never know what's coming up. And it's like, I get that, but you plan and then you change the plan. You make a CEO level decision when something does need to change. Oh, yeah, a practice. I'm a work in progress as well, and practicing trying to implement and practicing everything that I'm learning from my clients, just as much as they're learning from me.
Yeah, and imagine running your business too. I mean, you've got to iterate all the time because the landscape changes. I mean, automation tools, AI, all this stuff just demands that you embrace it, understand how it can impact you. So, yeah, I get that. And then you've been an entrepreneur for a long time. Is it come from family? I mean, were your parents that way? Because I notice you are looking at the image on your site there. You're a cat mom. So I'm wondering, are all cat moms entrepreneurs? You said it. You said it. I can say that.
Mompreneurs. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Absolutely. That's a good question. I don't know about the correlation there. But yes, I am an entrepreneur because I was born into entrepreneurialism. Literally, the family business was run out of the house my whole
Oh,
existence. And
what was it? What was the family business?
we had a construction company.
Nice, nice.
Yes. So there were feasts and there were famines. So
Oh yeah.
there was, family night at the steakhouse and there was ramen noodles. So
And
it
pluses to both. Pluses to both. Ramen, a little
what's
cheese
us
on top.
both.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so you grew up in that business, and were you working there at a young age and getting experience and stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
They literally ran, it was the contractors were there in the house, the subcontractors. I'd get dropped off at school by the plumber, the painter, the electrician.
Awesome.
So yeah, it was on the job training, field experience, and learning to deal with that the cycle that's not necessarily a cycle.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's interesting because I was just talking to a buddy last weekend, and his good friend he grew up with is a farmer. And that the construction business reminds me of farming and what you just said, the cycles, because he's like, yeah, his buddy, it's up and down, the commodity, the markets. Interesting, Yeah, you gotta think fast there. And so I want to ask you this. So by the way, for those listening, Daya's information is around this video wherever watching this because we stream this everywhere: YouTube, LinkedIn, X, Twitter. I think we put pieces on it on TikTok, which is great. So I highly encourage you to get connected to Daya. Your site's amazing, a lot of content on there, great stuff that you're doing. What do you have a complimentary session that you'll do with people if they want to talk with you about what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. When someone reaches out to me from one of these things, like your listenership is now part of my membership. So definitely reach out. There's QR codes everywhere that can get you on my Zoom schedule, as well as get information about more of the programs that I do. I have several free groups that I run. So I really do want to share the resources and get them out there. And I had to learn a lot by trial and error. So
Yeah.
I really want to get people to skip some of those steps and get where they're going faster.
Yeah, I've got to ask you before I let you go. Your name is very unique, and it's a lovely name, Daya Naef. Did I say that
Native.
right?
Uh-huh.
Naef. Yeah. What's the origin of the name?
Yeah, so Naef is Swiss. So my dad's side of the family is of Swiss descent, and Daya is actually made up. My mom had a babysitter growing up, and they called her Daya Nida because she came in the day and came at night. Eh,
Oh,
yeah, and it was wrong apparently. Her real name was Dia. So
oh.
when I was born and my grandmother called and said, my mother called and said, "Hey, we had the baby." And my grandmother said, "Well, what did you name her?" And mom says, Daya. And so of course my grandmother says, "Well, if you named her after Dia, you got it wrong." 'Cause, that's what moms like to tell you. So
Oh, oh, that's a good story. Well, thank you. Yeah, this has been great, and I know you and I will stay in touch, and really look forward to tracking what you're doing. But thank you, and thank you everybody for listening. Daya, we'll talk again soon.
absolutely. Thanks, Paul.